moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
We are the champions, my friend. And we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. We are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions of the world.
And certainly not lying about that. Hey, South African rugby has got a new generation of world champions. They've done it again and again and again and again against one of the toughest teams, though, in world rugby, under immense pressure, though, a dramatic lightning delay, and also against a relentless French outfit that refused to back down. I mean, the Junior Springboks stood tall. If you watch that game, you know what I'm talking about. They defended with heart, they attacked with purpose, and actually showed the grit that has become the hallmark, though, of this remarkable young team. A hard-fought 16-5 victory over France in Tbilisi. I mean, that secured, as I said, back-to-back World Rugby Under-20 championship titles for Mzansi. And adding as well to a third Junior World Championship crown, though, to the nation's proud rugby history after the 2012 and 2025 and now 2026. It was a campaign built on resilience, no doubt, outstanding leadership, incredible squad depth, and also a culture of playing for one another. And also for the millions of South Africans, though, cheering back home, and the center of incredible success is a coach who inspired belief and unity and excellence in a very talented group of young players. I suppose his calm leadership has transformed promise into silverware, and also ensuring that this junior box side has etched its name into rugby history. And that's why he's going to be joining us shortly to reflect on the unforgettable tournament, the lessons from the epic final against France, the resilience of his players that have shown right throughout the entire championship, the emotional significance as well of defending the world title, and what this remarkable achievement really, really means for the future of South African rugby as a whole. So that is why we celebrate them as champions. And the coach is on the line, Coach Kevin Foote. Thank you so much for your time. Welcome back home, and congratulations.
Struggling to contain the Junior Springboks pack. They break free, they offload, Muller arrives like a missile to potentially detonate French Junior World Championship dreams. Well, Marcus Muller, he's a bundle of pain for whoever he plays against.
I've got a clear grounding on my side at the moment, Paulo.
Big, powerful runner, strong in defence. But look at the offload from Van Veek. Fights to stay on his feet. Ball back in two hands into the onrushing Marcus Muller, who'd picked a beauty of a line. What a time to dot down for a 5-pointer. And now, for the icing on the cake, Siposetu Umbulele handed the trophy that Riley Norton hoisted 12 months ago. The Junior Boks go back to back. Junior World Champions 2026. The incomparable, the unbeatable South Africa.
All right, and with those fireworks, with the celebrations there, and celebrating what was a massive achievement there for the Junior Boks. Any messages or questions to Kevin Foote, feel free to send those through on 060-708-0484. The champion is on the line. Coach, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Great to be with you guys.
You feel like a champion?
I do. I think we all do. I think it was a huge month for us in Georgia, but such a special team, incredible connections, and a massive challenge. But really, really grateful that we got through it, and feeling pretty relieved now to be home and be with our families again.
Firstly, congratulations. I mean, defending the Junior World Championship title, number one, Kevin, is not easy. What does this achievement actually mean to you personally and for SA Rugby?
Well, I think it's awesome because it's never been done before. So, we didn't really focus on that too much because it's a new group compared to last year. But, when you get home and you realize just how hard it is to defend something and to go back-to-back is very, very special. So I think for the whole country, it just gives us a lot more hope and obviously gives a lot of inspiration to the young schoolboys coming through in our system. So, I think from a whole, we're just very grateful, but at the same time, very, very, very happy.
But I remember you describing the group as resilient and unbreakable. What made this team so special compared to others that you've coached?
I think, often our theme this year was love and happiness, and we start with happiness through gratitude. But love in sports is often, love is a service, but this team was way deeper than that. There was a very special combination with these guys, which I've never actually coached before. I think last year's group had definitely elements of that, but this group was just so incredibly tight. And I think, France, for example, came into our 22 11 times in the final and they only scored one try. And that stat in alone speaks for itself, just how hard the guys would scramble for each other, how much they cared for each other. When guys were left out of the team, instead of guys sulking or being upset, they hugged and celebrated the team that was being chosen. So, I just have never come across a team this so close and so connected.
And when you talk about that, and you talk about maybe those will be disappointed because they got left out, I'm sure there would have been those tough decisions that you had to make after the game against England, because that really pushed your hand to making those 3 changes.
Yeah, well, this team's actually gone 18 games unbeaten now, so it was a very tough decision because actually our medical team had done an amazing job. We had all 30 players available for selection for the final, which is also unheard of. So they worked so tirelessly to get the guys ready. And unfortunately we had to leave leaders out of the team. We decided to go with a side that we thought was fresh and ready to go. But again, just how selfless the guys were and just being part of that is pretty special. Of course, it's very disappointing as a coach to leave people out that you truly care about. But I think, this team just really handled it very maturely and thank goodness we got through, so everybody's happy now.
No, for sure. I mean, I can imagine somebody like Gert Kemp having to move to the bench at some point. The guys give a full shift, and it's, at times you've got to make them understand that starting off on the bench is actually not that bad. It gives you the time and opportunity to suss out the game. So by the time you do come in, you do make that impact. Yeah,
I mean, Gert Kemp actually made, we've got a sort of contact stat that we keep, and Gert had 59 contacts against England, which is, I've never seen it. I asked him if he played cricket because I wanted him to raise his bat. And he said he was a batsman, but he never made 50 in his life. So I don't know what kind of a cricketer he was. But he was unbelievable. But we said to him, we're going to move you to the bench purely because on a 5-day turnaround, you have to recover. But a guy like Kabi Make, he was in the leadership group. He started all the games for us in the TRC where we won the championship there. He played the semi-final and, we decided to go for certain guys that we thought were maybe a bit stronger in the line-out. And when we announced the team, KB got up and he hugged all the guys and shook their hand. I mean, like I've never, ever experienced that before, So, again, just so selfless. And I think that's actually what got us through in the end.
And just the depth, though. I mean, we're having a chat yesterday, actually, with Mike Greenaway on the Springbok game that we watched at the Hollywood Bets Kings Park Stadium. And we were just chatting about a certain position of which you also have an amazing superstar in Yakin Ahmed. And we were just talking about the depth that we have at number 10. And given how, Ahmed played in the game over the weekend, and you look at how Moyo played, and you still look at all the Bok players that are still injured and not available and so on. I mean, what do you make of that position and what you've had to use or rotate within the junior box?
Yeah, incredible talent. I mean, we're very deep in lots of positions. And I think, again, in that World Cup when you're playing every 5 days and managing to rotate guys is so important. But, this year in the first, because Yakin got suspended just before the tournament when he was playing for the Springbok A team against Zimbabwe, so he couldn't play the first 2 games when we were away. And so we used Leon Gillemere and Alzaden Felix, and then Yakin came in. So we used 3 different fly halves throughout that tournament, which in itself is almost madness. But they're also capable, and we use different horses, for different games. And just incredible talent. And, of course, Wosi Moyo could have been eligible to play in our tournament as well. He's still under 20. So I just think the schoolboy system, SA Rugby, the supports and the unions are doing an incredible job to, get these guys up to speed quickly. But just the talent in our country and how healthy rugby is very special.
Does the fact that the actual World Cup is in a couple of months' time, do they look at that? Do they have driving ambition? I mean, how do you manage that though? Because it's open season the way I look at it, Kevin.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, one of the things is, with that talent comes the guys have never been dropped before in their life. They've always played 18 or Craven Week or SA under 18. And just managing them, with regards to being dropped and how they're going to handle that, that's life. That's a life lesson. That things are going to not always go your way. But we do a lot of work on our values, and I think the guys are very mature around that. But I do think that now that Russi's sort of opened it up for these youngsters, they're all hungry. And that comes with great opportunity, but it also comes with a little bit of, are they thinking about the next thing or they're with us at the moment, And so we just always speak about being where your feet are. And then again, I think the guys handle that really well. But our job is not only to win, but is to develop these young men. And that's something we're really proud of.
One aspect that I wanted to ask you about, the football people are right about having to listen to Madonna at halftime of a final. You unfortunately had to deal with lightning. So that kind of delayed. I mean, there was a storm before the kickoff. How did you manage to keep the players mentally prepared, though, during that unexpected wait?
Well, there's two things. The one thing I'd say is France, they're used to playing very late at night. So they usually kick off at 9 o'clock at night. That's after their prime time. We don't. I mean, we had to play all our games at 8:30, and I think that could have attributed maybe to how slowly we started in some games. Guys just weren't ready for that. But when the lightning came through, I was a bit worried about that. But if you had been in our change room, I actually think it was such a spiritual thing because the staff and the players were singing. And for 30 minutes, we had to wait there. And instead of overthinking it or anything, we just all sang together. And I think France could hear us. And I think that was a massive psychological thing for us. And by the time we came back out to warm up, the guys were just so energized. So, again, it's part of our culture. We sing in the change room. The songs are beautiful. The staff sing. I just dance because I can't sing. So, it's just it was incredible, in a way you can see it as, okay, does this put us off? Or actually, we can't control that. Let's just control our energy. And I think the staff and the players were amazing in that.
Now, I'm looking forward to seeing that viral video of yours, Kevin, of you dancing. Hey, I can't wait.
That won't go.
I mean, talking about that, it will sound very, very somber now, but talking about dancing and singing as well was just one live wire in Luqobo Makwetini. I know that the team actually wore the black armbands in memory of Luqobo. I mean, how emotional was it for the squad to carry that tribute while competing on the biggest stage?
Yeah, no, it's massive. Like I said, very close group, and he was a real character. So I didn't know about it initially. So I was in the team meeting, and I was actually doing a selection meeting, and I saw some guys getting quite emotional, and I thought, I can imagine, and I thought it was that. So when I called the leaders in, I said, look, I really want to look after X, Y, and Z because. And they said, no, Footy, someone's passed, and that's when I realized what had happened. And, we obviously spoke a little bit about it, and, it doesn't really matter because you can't really put words to that. And the guys took their time to sort of digest that and then move forward. But I think he'll be very missed. And I think some of the players, especially guys who were with him at DHS and, of course, at Weinberg, really felt that.
Yeah, I mean, we also paid a tribute before I let you go to him.
It is a huge blow that we still are reeling with. We don't know how we're going to get through it. But with the support from many people around the country, the message is coming through to the family.
Bibo Makwedini, raised by his uncle after losing both parents, chased his rugby dream from the Eastern Cape to France. At 20, he was on the brink of a first-team debut. His talent and spirit live on. Gone far too soon. South Africa and the MSW family will never forget him.
That's life, Kevin, and that's why we celebrate the life and also just make sure that the family and everybody else who was very close to him does remember him eternally. And I thank you so much indeed for having given us that opportunity to have a glimpse of such an incredible talent, like you've mentioned before. The school, his past and where he came from a rugby culture, but also, I mean, on behalf of everybody within the team, a really sad way, but he'll be smiling knowing that he will, he's world champion.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you. And thank you for that tribute. I think it was very special.
Kevin, you world champion, sir. Thank you very much indeed. Good to have you back home.
Thank you. Awesome. Thanks for having us. And I hope to speak to you soon.
All right. Appreciate that. World Champions Under 20 Championship, doing it back-to-back. Kevin Foote there, the Junior Box coach, joining us right here on #MSW. Well done, guys.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.